Now, our second speaker of the day is one gentleman, Paddy Adallah, who is giving his CC1. And Paddy Adallah says, I recently mentored a group of 10 during the Microsoft Azure Fundamentals learning and went on to guide them through the revision of the exam, which they all but one passed, and that made me really happy. So as we can see, we have very able individuals here who are doing great things. Before Paddy comes on, I would like to call on his evaluator, Benson Abila, to give us expectations of his speech. Benson, over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, everyone. This evening, I'll be evaluating Mr. Paddy Adallah. Paddy, where are you? Okay, I see him. Now, Paddy will be undertaking his first speech, and the purpose of this project is for him to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a speech. So my role will just to give him an effective evaluation of his speech and his delivery style. I will not say much. I know he has prepared, and the speech should take 4 to 6 minutes. Now, Mr. Paddy Adallah, keep moving on, Mr. Paddy Adallah. Take it away, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you heard, my name is Paddy Adallah. Now, it was in the dark of night, a reference to my all-time favorite movie, The Dark Knight, just over 2 decades ago, that a child let out an ear-shattering cry signifying its birth and arrival to Mother Earth. Having been born at that hour, the child was given its first name, Otieno. As time elapsed, the child grew up to become a curious and jovial young man, or rather a young lad, as it hadn't become a man yet, always willing to take up a challenge and to give challenges to others and the parents as well. But then the child was not quite brave. Why do I say this? I recall pensively that in my 3rd year of primary school, auditions were held for the zonal music festivals for the junior category, and I was auditioned. I passed, and I was happy about it. Unfortunately, I was very anxious about it. And why was I anxious? I had never delivered a speech in front of a crowd, let alone talk to my parents openly about how I felt until that moment. When I got home later that day, a meeting was convened between the various voices in my mind, and a decision was made. I was going to lie to my parents that I hadn't made it to the finals. And that is exactly what I did. They were disappointed and assured me that another opportunity will come my way. The competition was held on a Saturday, and this was a plus to my lie, because if I'd gone to school, if it was a weekday, then this would not have worked. As the competitions were held, my name was called, but I was not now anywhere to be seen. My parents heard about this, and they were disappointed and discouraged me from lying, but encouraged me that if another opportunity came my way, I was to seize it. As I progressed to school, more opportunities came to represent my school and myself, and I took them up. My moment of glory came in high school, when at the music festivals at the national level, I held my tiny recorder in my big arms and listened to the crowd give me a round of applause after my presentation. Standing there, I was happy. I was delighted, and I couldn't hold it in. I think joy came, they cascaded down my throat instead of down my face. Now, what I haven't told you is I wasn't a music student. Thus, I had to juggle between the classes, games, as my school was very strict with them, and finding the little bit of opportunities to practice playing my recorder. In our modern days, ladies and gentlemen, we come through or we come across many challenges. Be it the supplementary exam that holds you down, be it looking for an opportunity to excel in life by looking for a livelihood, or be it the occasional blue tick that you receive from the person you think is your person of interest but unfortunately, they're not. But what differentiates us from each other is how we react to all these scenarios. I mean, the person who fails the supplementary could decide the school is hard and I'm not going to do anything about it. The guy who unfortunately does not find a job when they wanted the job could give up in life. And the person who receives the blue tick will decide that God did not make a wife for me. But there are those who react positively to these occurrences, and they are the ones who make it. Let me elucidate on this point. It is how you react to these things that you become a better person. And as I conclude and try to be the Thor in this dark world that we are facing at this moment, I am currently experiencing tough times dealing with online classes. The lecturer who always talks endlessly, and as I listen to him, a meme pops up and I go to comment about it. As I listen to him, a new meme idea comes to me and I run to my meme generator to make a new meme. Nevertheless, I always scroll back to the class and attend and at least finish it. Of course, I will end up watching his recordings later on as a series so that I can pass the exam. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, life isn't always easy. And I will conclude with a favorite quote from somebody I consider an uncle and is considered an uncle by those who've watched this particular animation. And his name is General Iroh. And General Iroh says that sometimes life is like a dark tunnel. You cannot always see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place. And with that, I will challenge you today that whatever it is you're struggling with, you do not see the second level consequence. But I assure you that at the end of the tunnel, which you do not see for now, it will always come to a better place. Because your worst moment is just but your worst moment at that particular time that you had it, as you are looking at it now. Ladies and gentlemen, Paddy Adallah, thank you.
Thank you, Paddy. That was a very funny speech. In fact, I was laughing a lot. And I'm even shocked you're doing your CC1 today. I thought you would be way ahead, but anyway, we move. Thank you for starting. At least you've started.